Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are completely flipping our understanding of financial success upside down. We're unpacking some seriously fascinating insights from Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. Specifically, we're zeroing in on a concept that just shatters the illusions we hold about wealth. Let's kick things off by taking a little imaginary walk right through a high-end luxury neighborhood. So, picture this. You're walking down the street, you see spotless driveways parked with gleaming sports cars, people wearing high-end designer clothes, you spot luxury watches catching the sun, and massive, immaculate homes where absolutely everything screams success. You know the exact vibe, right? We have all walked or driven through a neighborhood just like this. And when you see all that, it's perfectly natural to look at those highly visible, incredibly expensive things and immediately assume the person living there has immense wealth. I mean, our brains are practically hardwired to equate visible spending with financial success. We see $1 million spent, and we instantly think, wow, they literally have $1 million. But hold on a second. I really want you to pause and ask yourself a crucial question here. Are they actually wealthy? Because as our source material points out, that luxury lifestyle might actually be a grand illusion. Think about it. That massive house could be financed with a suffocating mortgage. The sports car might just be leased, and that designer lifestyle could be entirely propped up by crushing credit card debt. What you're actually looking at is spending, not necessarily wealth. Which brings us to Section 1, Rich versus Wealthy and Redefining Success. You see, being rich simply means you have a high current income. Let's say someone earns $500,000 a year, but spends every single dollar of it to maintain a lavish lifestyle. Well, they're just rich. They have cash flow, sure, but they're stuck on a treadmill. On the flip side, someone earning $60,000 a year, who is quietly and consistently investing a chunk of that income, they are building true wealth. Basically, rich is about the income you generate today, while wealth is about the assets that will secure your tomorrow. So the definition we really need to lock in, and honestly, this is a total paradigm shift, is that wealth is simply what remains after spending. It's the money sitting quietly in your savings. It's the investments compounding over decades. It is the unseen financial energy that you're saving for the future. Wealth is the sports car you decided not to purchase. It's the first-class upgrade you declined. By its very nature, true wealth is inherently invisible. Moving on to Section 2. The cost of looking rich and the hidden burden it carries. Let's look at this really powerful parable. On one side, you've got the Ferrari owner. Sure, they might look incredibly successful revving their engine at a stoplight, but they also might be drowning in stressful monthly payments, having completely depleted their savings just to buy the car. Now, on the other side, you have the owner of an ordinary sedan. They aren't turning any heads, but they have enough behind-the-scenes investments quietly compounding in the background to retire comfortably. So who's actually in a better position? Honestly, that practical sedan might be 10 years old and draw absolutely zero attention, but the unseen assets powering that driver's life, that's where the real power lies. The car tells you almost nothing about someone's actual financial health because, again, spending is highly visible to everyone, but saving is entirely hidden from view. And here's a hilarious but totally true paradox we all fall for when it comes to luxury items. We buy them to impress people, right? We want them to admire us. But the crazy truth is, those people aren't admiring us at all. When someone sees that Ferrari, they aren't thinking, wow, the driver is so smart and successful. They're actually thinking, man, if I had that car, people would think I'm smart and successful. They're really just imagining themselves owning the object. It's an endless, expensive game of mirrors. So let's break down how this builds into a seriously dangerous cycle. Spending to impress leads straight into a trap we call lifestyle inflation. Step 1, your income goes up. Nice. But then step 2, you immediately upgrade your lifestyle. You get a bigger house, a nicer car, take expensive vacations. Step 3, poof, every extra dollar disappears. And finally, step 4, you become trapped. From the outside, you look super successful, but on the inside, you're forced to maintain a relentless, exhausting pace just to fund your own image. You can't take risks, you can't slow down. You're literally trapped by the very things you bought to look successful. That leads us to Section 3, the invisible millionaire. And who actually holds the wealth? You know, research consistently shows that true millionaires are practically invisible to us. They tend to live in ordinary, middle-class neighborhoods. They aggressively avoid unnecessary debt. They save consistently, and they invest patiently. If you walked past them on the street, you would never, ever guess they were wealthy. In fact, statistically speaking, they're way more likely to be driving a used Ford F-150 than a flashy sports car. Why? Because they never tried to look rich. Their goal was never to capture your attention. I love this metaphor. Think about it like this. Your savings, your emergency fund, your retirement accounts, they might not attract applause from people walking by, and they certainly aren't going to get you any likes on social media. But just like a tree's root system, your wealth is silently growing beneath the surface. Year after year, those roots spread deeper into the earth, creating a profound foundation of ultimate security that can weather absolutely any storm life throws at you. And that brings us to section 4. Wealth buys freedom. The ultimate purpose of it all. Here's the absolute truth. The greatest thing wealth can buy isn't an object, it's not a luxury vacation, and it's definitely not social status. It's freedom. True wealth buys you incredible things. The freedom to choose where and how you work, the freedom to be completely present and spend quality time with your family, the freedom to simply take a break when you're utterly exhausted without going into a panic about paying the bills. It buys you the freedom to pursue meaningful work instead of just frantically chasing the next paycheck. Basically, it buys you your life back. So the absolute crucial point here is this. Before you make your next major purchase, you really need to stop and ask yourself a paradigm-shifting question. Will this purchase increase my freedom, or is it only going to improve my image? Now, sometimes buying something genuinely does improve your life, and that's great. But so often, saving that money and letting it compound creates far greater lasting value. The goal here is to spend intentionally, not just to put on a show for the world. Actually, I've got a practical exercise for you to try this week to help build some of this financial awareness. Look around your house and pick out 3 expensive items you own. Then critically evaluate them. Ask yourself, did I truly need this? Did it actually improve my life over the long haul? Would I buy it again today knowing what I know now? And here's the real kicker. If I had invested that money instead, what would it be worth right now? Look, there's no shame here and no wrong answers. It's just about gaining powerful awareness of the real cost behind our visible spending. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to burn this quote from the text right into your memory. Wealth is the money you don't spend. It's the freedom you've quietly built for tomorrow. True wealth doesn't demand an audience, guys. It doesn't need applause. It is the quiet, invisible security you hold that lets you sleep soundly at night. So knowing that the world naturally celebrates what it can easily see, the luxury, the flashy status, but that real power and security lie in what it can't see, I'm going to leave you with one final thought for your own financial journey. When you pull out your wallet tomorrow, what are you really paying for? Will your next purchase buy you fleeting status, or will it buy you permanent freedom?